Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I am your host, Danny K. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Greenlead. How you doing, Green?
Oh, stop it, you. I'm doing good. I'm having a good day. I'm having a good week. Started my week off right. So hopefully continue that path to the NTN podcast, hang out with you guys, and then just to have a chill rest of my week. How are you? How you doing, boo-boo?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so glad I can do the show from my home this week. With us, as always, the powerful, the beautiful RevSven. How you doing, Rev?
Doing pretty good now. Jeez, I was doing okay, but making me feel some kind of way. I think we need to tweak that a little bit. It's like, it's as always, Mr. Greenlee, as most of the time, RevSven. Life has been a dumpster fire lately. No, I'm actually really excited. I got that job interview, the second job interview for that community manager position tomorrow. So we're hype.
Yeah, guys, send all the positive vibes. Just like all the luck. Like if you're Irish,
all of your positive vibes right down my throat.
Yeah, like if you're Irish, send them all of your luck.
Mm.
But awesome. I'm glad you guys are doing fantastic. Before the show starts, I really want to say that we appreciate all of you guys who watch and listen to the show. We hope you guys find all the information and entertainment you expect out of us this week. And I know it's been kind of a wonky month because of the Durate show and like family emergencies and home emergencies. I know it's just been a wonky week or a wonky month. We hope that this month we can kind of get back to normal. If you guys missed any part of the show tonight, you guys can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. This week, we do have a question of the week that I want to pose to the chat, and that is, before digital downloads, what was the longest you waited in line for a new release, and what game was it? If you guys are watching live, let us know in the chat right now. If you guys are on YouTube, go on ahead and answer the question in the comment section. Or if you guys are listening, you guys can tweet me or any of the other co-hosts here your answer. Our Twitter handles are on the screen right now and in the description of the episode. So yeah, that's the question of the week. Before digital downloads, what was the longest you waited in line for a new release, and what game was it? Is there any sort of housekeeping we need to get out of the way after that?
I need to clean up my stream room a little bit. I can wait.
Smart ass. You needed to put a kappa after that. Awesome. Well, let's just get into the show because we have a lot of things that we want to talk about. And first being some Apex and COD updates that we got. I haven't gotten my hands on Apex, so Green, this is all you to start out with.
It's actually pretty cool. Like we got some good updates. Like it was supposed to be last week on Tuesday. Season 6 of Apex dropped, and Season 5 of Call of Duty. So it's crazy to think that Call of Duty is already up to 5. It's kind of weird for me. Yeah. Apex released a new legend. Definitely some map changes. I haven't gotten any time in this week for the new King's Canyon. It started off with the other one that I don't like, that I can never remember the name of.
World's End.
Yeah, World's Edge.
That's right. Edge. That's what. Yeah,
World's Edge. But they released the new legend Rampart. She's like a Hindi lady that is like a engineer, weapons expert kind of thing. She drops like shields, like these like barricade walls that you can shoot through the top end for a moment of relief in a gunfight. You can drop 3 of those at a time. And then she also has like a Gatling gun, like you can set down a mini gun and just lay waste to people as her ultimate. She's pretty cool. She has some very snarky comments when you're playing. But they did some changes with the weapons. Triple take now is the meta. You heard it here first. I picked that up. Only found one the whole time I was playing that one night. destroys, just absolutely dominates. Like there's no longer like precision chokes laying around. It automatically comes with the precision choke, and it's like it actually feels like a formidable weapon now. They also released the SMG. It's an energy SMG called the Volt, which a lot of Titanfall fans will recognize. It's been speculated to be coming to the game for a while. Other than that, like not a huge amount of changes. I mean, sandbox changes for sure with the weapons, but the maps have a few different things added to them to make them different while still being the same thing. I've had a lot of fun when I played it.
The shielding, the Evo shields.
Yes, that's a big thing too. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that myself.
Yeah, Evo shields are now the what you get, what you pick up. You can either spawn white or blue. They also have like a crafting thing now where you can weekly and daily they change what's in that. So like when I played, the daily was the prowler, so there was no prowler in the map. You actually had to get the crafting material to make a prowler and the select fire, which was it's pretty cool. I didn't care for it until I actually did it. I only thought you could do one piece at a time, but if you have enough crafting materials, there's actually like 3 slots that you can go around and add the stuff to make that weapon. So that was pretty interesting for sure.
So wait, can you kind of go a little bit further in the crafting thing? Because I'm not familiar with that yet.
So there's like throughout the map, there's like spots that have like these containers that have like a blue gunk in them, like a crafting material. It's like I don't know what it's called. So you collect all that crafting material, and then from there, you find a crafting station. So like the daily weapon will be in there that won't be in like as a world drop item, and then like attachments for that weapon will also be in there, and that will change daily. And then weekly, there's like certain items in there that you can only get from crafting them. So there's 3 slots on this crafting station that you can, start crafting one item, and there's a certain time that it'll be done. Then you can move to the other station, put another thing in, and then the other station put another one in. So like, I picked up a prowler. I started making the prowler, and then I started making the purple heavy mag for it and the select fire receiver. So once everything was done in that time, it was like 30 to 45 seconds, I had a fully kitted prowler.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I always went for the backpacks.
Yeah, and there's like a mobile respawn beacon and stuff like that as well. It was a mobile respawn beacon and a purple knockdown shield when I did it. One thing I noticed when I was playing as well is that there's a lot more gold knockdown shields throughout the map, like very frequented, which I still hate them because they are way too slow. But it's an interesting change, I guess.
Yeah.
But
okay, so overall, you feel like this has been a pretty good update for Apex?
Yeah. I think it's good. I like that they introduced a new character. She doesn't seem overly strong, but she doesn't seem overly weak.
Mm-hmm.
Like Revenant was hyped up, and like I thought that was a disappointment. And then when Loba dropped, I thought she was like almost too good with her moves, like her movement speed. So like it was very balanced, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay, so like her ability doesn't seem overpowered or anything like that. What?
No.
So I know she has like the active that is like the shield. Does she have like another passive?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
She's just an immaculate shit talker.
Yeah, she's just hella shade. Hella shade.
If Mr. what's his name?
Revenant?
Yes, if Mr. Revenant is that edgy like asshole, she is the snarky troll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hun-
She's like if Revenant was cool.
If Revenant wasn't cringe.
Yeah, exactly. If he wasn't an edgelord and actually had a body and a personality and like people skills and like not an asshole, fuck Revenant.
But she is an asshole, though.
Eh,
But she's the
at
lovable.
least funny. Yeah,
She's the lovable asshole, is what I'm getting.
exactly. She's the lovable asshole. So
Okay. So those are the Apex updates. Let's talk about COD.
So we talked about COD a little bit earlier when season 5 actually dropped. They did a little bit of an update last week. As y'all know, the stadium got busted open. They added a new operator called Lurch. Well, with this recent update, it started like it's called the Games of Summer, which is like a lot of trial matches and stuff, where like there's like shooting ranges you can go to. You try to beat the time. I tried a little bit of it. It was pretty interesting. I mean, nothing to like write home about because it's just like obstacle courses and the shooting range. The faster you get, the more medals you earn. The higher medal you earn is like gold, silver, bronze. Yeah, but apparently all the countries that are in like COD is in are actually competing against each other like the Olympics. So the country that gets the more medals is the one that actually like wins, and like there'll be like everything. That country will get like an exclusive gold, like cosmetic thing. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was a banner or something. So yeah, that was like the biggest thing. They didn't do a new operator as well called Morte. He's like a French cowboy.
A
Yeah,
French cowboy.
French
Okay.
cowboy.
Neat.
He wears a cowboy hat and he talks real smooth, but in a French accent. So
Neat.
yeah. So he has like a poncho and a cowboy hat, but then he has like on his ballistic vest he has like the French flag. It's like weird as shit. Like I don't get it. I don't get the correlation. Like he likes old western, like spaghetti westerns and shit. So he has to dress like Clint Eastwood. But
All right.
what else?
Any new weapons added, mechanics, anything like that?
Not really. They nerfed the Bruin a little bit more. So now the meta is the Kilo. You heard it here first.
Heard it here first.
I've been slapping with the Kilo in like an SMG loadout style. So it's like no stock, short barrel, Merc foregrip. It's oh my god, I've been tearing up with that thing, like tearing up. Been doing a lot of damage.
No amount of Flex Seal is gonna fix that.
Oh, and one thing I do have to say is they introduced tournaments a while ago where it's like a 2v2 gunfight. Every time I've tried it was like horrendous because like every time I'd go in I'd always usually play with Mike. We'd go in, we'd play the first round, we'd win the first round, we'd go to the second round, and one of us would get disconnected for whatever reason and can't join back up. So the next round of the tournament, it'd be 1v2. Couldn't reconnect. We decided to give it a shot again when it came back this week, and we did not get disconnected. So I would say is a plus improvement, like 10 out of 10 improvement. Like we didn't get disconnected once, so that was it.
That's good.
Yeah, that was an actual improvement. I'm at this point with Activision and Modern Warfare, Warzone, that's not touched by Treyarch. I feel the community as a whole has felt like they've spent more time with like the cosmetic side than the actual issues that are in the game, especially with hackers. And that's another thing I've noticed with this new season is like I'm seeing hackers more prevalent. They were saying that they were going into their own special lobby against each other, but like every other game in solo modes, even like last night. I ran into a hacker first thing.
That
So-
I know that's been like making like headlines. I know
Mhm.
a lot of like the PC Gamer, Polygon, Kotaku. I think I've seen them do an article on it. Like a lot of people started putting out articles about how many cheaters are in Warzone right now.
Well, Activision actually just sued a cheat maker. And they
Yeah,
discontinued it.
yeah, I
So-
saw that too.
But I need to do a PSA real quick. Listen. If you need a hack or a cheat program to win games, don't fucking play games. All right? Listen. Get better at the game or fucking uninstall, you piece of shit. Okay? I will fucking find you. I don't know what I'll do when I find you, but I'll fucking find you.
Damn.
Okay.
I was
Fucking
really
hate it.
Tell us how you really feel.
ruins the game. It ruins the game. Anytime that you have someone who picks up a cheat, which usually costs just as much as the game is, if not more, right? Because they made the game free to play because they're fucking dumb. Like, why make a game free to play? Because you know that people are like, oh well, I can buy the cheat for this, so that way I can like win all these games because it doesn't matter if I get banned because I can just make a new account. Well, these people, like, instead of taking the fucking time to get better at the fucking game, right, and practice and like learn how to fucking shoot the guns and like actually have some common sense when they're playing, like it's not that hard. Like, playing a battle royale is difficult, but the more you play it and the more instances and fights you get into, the more awareness you're going to get, the better you're going to get, the more skills you're going to obtain, right? But no, they had to buy these fucking cheat systems, right? Go and play these fucking games, ruin it for everyone else. And how are they enjoying themselves? How are you fucking enjoying yourself?
Because you're making one huge mistake in your statement, Green. You're assuming that they're doing this because they want to win. They're doing it because they want to upset you.
And they're
And it's working.
fucking horrible. It's the fucking worst. They need to like all be rounded up into a fucking dumpster and just light it. Fuck. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, I'm good.
See that reaction you just put out? That's exactly what they're looking for, and you gave it to them.
I don't care.
So I feel like we should point out one thing that Padre put out in our Discord chat here real quick. So before the comments light up, actually, in fact, I'm going to encourage the comments just to correct us on this. Morte is apparently Italian, and the spaghetti western thing makes sense, is what Padre said. But go on ahead and light us up in the chat, anyways, or in the comment section or chat or whatever.
Hashtag yeet.
Yeah, just go on ahead and light us up. It's good for the YouTube algorithm. So
That's why we waited. That's why we did it. That's why we waited this long to go ahead and correct it. That way, y'all can go ahead and get your comments in because we know you're going to do it before you finish watching the video.
Yell at me. I like it.
Green's a glutton for punishment.
With me.
Yeah. So anything else on COD?
Not really. I mean, it's. I still love the game. I don't know why. I still do. It's definitely enjoyable. It's free. It's a free to play game. So you gotta take it with each punch that's thrown at you. Just keep on rolling. I mean, I like what they're doing. I like that they actually like worked on their server issues with the tournaments and stuff. Now they just need to actually work on the Warzone side of it and like fix their bugs from that side. I know a big issue that they had was like this visual bug where certain weapons have like this like kaleidoscope looking blob on them, and they put a patch out a couple weeks ago. I've only ran into it once since then, but God, is it awful. But I'm glad that they actually put priority into actually fixing that. So, but yeah, not much else.
Cool. So we'll move on to our next topic here then, which is Death and Taxes. Padre.
I've played that game.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell us
full
about
disclosure.
it.
Full disclosure. I was given a key to this game by the developers, but So Death and Taxes plays almost similar to like a visual novel type game, almost like your typical like dating sim type deal. But essentially, you are born into a world created by a character known as Fate, and you are a Grim Reaper, and you are tasked with picking who lives and who dies on a day-to-day basis. Now, you're given your 1 week trial period. It tells you, it'll give you a deal saying, all right, this many people have to die. And you're like, okay, cool. It's like the first one, of course, is like one person has to die and they give you 2. You just pick which one you want to kill. And then like your decisions are very, very practical in the way the story plays out, though. So it's like, I mean, even your very first decision of the game can actually pan out to change the entire storyline. So it has like hours upon hours upon hours of replayability factor. Like, I mean, whenever you make your first decision, you go in there and Fate asks you straight up, like, so how was your first day on the job? And you get like 4 answers, like one, I hate this stupid job, 2, a job's a job, and when am I getting paid, stuff like that. And that decision in and of itself alters the rest of the story. So there's a lot to be able to do. Of course, if you go against the instructions too much, you get fired. I found out the hard way. I was just trying to kill everybody because I was a Grim Reaper, but no, you still have to do your job, assholes. But anyway, so yeah, you make all these decisions leading up. As the game progresses, you get some more difficult, tasks handed to you. Like you'll get like 8 files, and it'll be like you have to kill 6 of them. 3 of them have to be over this age, yada yada yada. But if you alter the story enough, you can start doing whatever you want. Fate won't even notice what you're doing anymore. So it's really interesting. And you can buy like little cosmetics, or you can buy little stuff to put on your desk, like a calendar that shows where you're at in your game and all kinds of stuff. But the humor and the voice acting in this game really set it apart, from like just any kind of run-of-the-mill indie dating sim or any other kind of visual novel. The voice acting was really good. And the art style was fantastic. And I actually, little side note, I follow the artist for the developer on Twitch, and she was actually doing art for the DLC on a Twitch stream. It was really, really interesting. It's really cool artwork. But yeah, it's kind of a just simple pick here, pick here, pick here. There is a cat. Her name is Lady Poddington. She's an asshole. I'll leave that at that. But all in all, it was a really fun game. Like I said, hours of replayability, which is really cool. It's super inexpensive. I think it's only like $7.99 when I looked last. What I ended up doing actually was I took the free code and gave it away and purchased the game anyway, so that way support the developers, because that's what we do. We support developers, unless the developers suck, EA. But regardless, it's a really fun game. I highly recommend, because even if like you watched my stream, I played through 1.5 times because, like I said, I got fired. But even though, even if you tuned into, like, say, my stream, there are so many more possibilities to run off this. So you could play it, like most games I play, you could play it on a potato. So you don't have to worry about having some kind of high-end gaming PC. You could play it on a laptop. Hell, I could see this being a mobile game easily. I think it just got ported over to Switch as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check that, but I think it just got ported over to Switch. And there is a DLC coming, so that'll even be more fun. They're going to open up the bar. There's a bar in there. I don't know what they're going to do with it yet, but I'm interested.
Yeah. So real quick, as you mentioned the specs, minimum 64-bit processor and operating system Windows 7 or higher, i3 or equivalent processor, 2 gigs of RAM, integrated graphics or GPU with at least 512 megabits of VRAM, DirectX version 9, and 2 gigs of storage. So yeah, potato.
Yeah, potato. Yes, it's coming out on Switch on the 10th of this month. So it is developed and published by Placeholder Gameworks.
Excellent. And I see it on Steam right now for $12.99. It does have a free demo on Steam. And according to SteamDB, the lowest recorded price has been a 35% sale, which ended up being $8.44 USD.
That's what it was. Okay, it wasn't $7.99. I bought it at the $8.44 is what it was. But yeah, it's even at the $12.99. Honestly, with if that's the kind of game you're into, the replayability factor alone is worth that price. Because like I've played it through it probably 3 or 4 more times, and I still have stuff I haven't done yet. So it's got a lot of hours you could put into it for being as simple as it seems.
Yeah, I like the aesthetics of it. I'm looking at it. It's got a very pop art, almost. How do I describe it? It's got like some weird. It's not quite like Lovecraftian or Eldritch, but it kind of borders on that.
Which is ironic because you can actually get like a Cthulhu head cosmetic where you walk around, like instead of a skull, you're walking around with like a Cthulhu head.
Yeah.
You can get like the Anubis head. You know, there's a lot of obviously, death involved in it. So, and then like you can get the Dia de Muerte skull and stuff like that. All kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah. Like I just don't want to say it looks Eldritch. It has almost like a 50s look to it.
Yeah. It's almost got like that, like the old pulp comic type look to it, like the Archies or something. But Fate is first off, his voice is like like melted butter. It's so smooth, but he's also like you can look at him and tell he's kind of an asshole. But he's your boss, so you kind of have to do what he says, or you get fired.
Green, thoughts, questions, opinions?
Oh, he explained it pretty well. It sounds like a pretty cool indie title. Like, you know me, I'm not huge into indies, but it does sound pretty neat. I like death and destruction. So.
Oh yeah. I full disclosure. I full on into the entire world. Did not mean to, but I did.
Did you at least say eat at the beginning of it?
No, I think actually my exact words were, when it lets you know, it's like, oh, there's one remaining human left. Doesn't matter. They're going to die whether you choose to kill them or not, yada, yada, yada. My first word was, man, fuck. I didn't want to be that guy. But like it was all part of like, fate's plan in the route that I went. But you go back and do it differently, his entire plan changes. So like I said, it drastically can affect the outcome of the game based on just little decisions you make. He was dope.
Yeah. No, it looks like a good deal.
It's got a really good soundtrack. And actually, if I remember correctly, if you buy the $12.99, you get the soundtrack with it. It's got a decent soundtrack. Like a little, almost kind of like a calming elevator music type of sound to it.
Does it have X to give it to you on it?
It should, but it does not. I heard there was some kind of licensing dispute. It should have been on there, though.
It needs to be on there. Because like, if it doesn't have X going to give it to you, is it even a soundtrack anymore?
That's a very good point.
Right. Like, thanks, Deadpool. Come on, you ruined me.
Well, it's got to be a sad girl cover of X going to give it to you, like Crossfire.
To be, I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. Like the soundtracks for like Destiny are banging. Like if you want something super chill, like the orchestra stuff from Destiny is like fantastic. It's like Halo on crack.
Dude, people sleep on orchestra music, dude. Like,
oh yeah,
that stuff can get you. Actually, just little side note here: if you get on Spotify and look up, there's a playlist on there called Thumos, Thumos, and it's like an old Greek term that represents the feeling of just like passion and rage boiling inside you going into battle. That like the only way you could ever feel that feeling. And this is like full of like epic movie soundtrack stuff that's like those scores and stuff. It'll get you some sort of way. That playlist helped motivate me to finish my hike up to the top of Guadalupe Peak, and I felt like a badass for it, even though it was just like everybody else is like, oh, we made it, and I'm over here dying because I'm fat, but it is what it is.
When you did your amateur MMA fight, did you listen to that to get pumped?
No, I didn't know that existed back then. That's how long ago that was. No, so fun fact about that, I was originally going to walk out to Doc Holliday by Volbeat because I have like this obsession with like old Western outlaw type of characters. And then last minute they were like, all right, what do you want your walkout song to be? I fucking panicked and went, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Metallica. And I walked out to that cheesy ass. I love the song, but it's such a cheesy walkout song.
Oh, yeah,
it would have been funnier if you were just like, Jurassic Park theme song.
But my friend almost coaxed me into walking out to When Doves Cry by Prince, and I wish I would have went with that one.
Oh, yeah, that would have been badass.
That would have been great. last little bit on this. I was standing behind the curtain, kind of peeking out, watching the other fights because I was a little bit further up the card. I was in the main event of the amateur fights, and so I'm sitting there watching. And I'm sitting there, kind of like doing my warm ups and everything, and I hear this. I hear "Sail" by AWOL Nation start playing. I'm like, "Fuck, that's awesome! I should have walked out to that." Like I'm back here getting ready to fight somebody in a cage, and all I could think of is, I should have walked out to that. That would have been a great song. Then I proceeded to lose in under a minute by a choke, but that's, it's official on the record.
So, moving on from amateur fights, let's talk about Among Us. We've all had our hands on Among Us. The game has absolutely blown up. Let's just get into it, huh?
Yeah,
so
you want to talk about
get right into it.
Let's just jump right into it. So Among Us is a 2D social deduction game by Innersloth. It's incredibly budget friendly, retailing at $5 on Steam and free on mobile. On PC, all that is required to run it is Windows 7 SP1 Plus, 1 gigabyte of RAM, SSE2 instruction set support for your processor. So basically any processor post 2000, I think. DirectX version 10 and 250 megabits of hard drive space. So, potatoes.
Yeah.
Literally, like, you could probably, you get a potato with an LCD screen on it, you're good. So speaking of potatoes, you play as a set of space beans or potatoes. I can't decide which they are. Doing tasks around a map in order to escape before getting murdered by two other players or by another player. You don't know who the murderers are. You don't know what anyone else's roles are unless you are they call it an imposter. And you have to use clues and your awareness of the situation to determine who the murderers are and aren't. And by clues, I mean dead bodies. There's a few other ways that you can tell if someone is an imposter or not. But otherwise, yeah, it's mostly just trying to figure out who's an imposter just by their proximity to a body. Murderers or imposters have to kill enough people so that the number of imposters equals the number of innocents. So if you have 2 imposters, you have to kill enough people so that only 2 innocents remain. The game encourages players only to speak during set times, like during emergency meetings or when bodies are discovered, so that someone doesn't accidentally give away too much information. Which happened to us when we played Saturday night. Our beloved Ren accidentally unmuted himself after he died, and
it's so obvious.
It's so obvious. Just think. Was it like the exact thing that we heard? But yeah, so the game encourages you and tells you like mute chat. Unless you're in like these situations and like dead people never talk. Dead men tell no tales. 2 men can keep a secret if one of them is dead. You know? Yeah. So that's the basics of Among Us. I like the game. I think overall it's pretty fun for how simple it is and how budget friendly it is. Makes this one that's not too hard on the bank at all. Although I will say I don't think you should really buy this unless you have friends to play with, because playing with pubs is awful.
Yeah.
It's a game that you need friends or a controlled group to play with. At least that's
few.
What's that?
Yeah. At least a few. You don't have to like put like a whole party together, but man, playing by yourself is nah.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Green, what did you think of the game?
It was definitely fun. Like, I enjoyed it. I don't think it really had like a Discord, like interaction with it. Like I wish that the overlay would have worked on it. It might have been on my side, but like, I was trying to get the overlay to work on so that way I knew for sure I was muted or not. I knew part of it was my fault because I put like the sound notification on, like mute and unmute, and it still wasn't working. So it very well could have been on my end, but I liked it because I was a huge fan of Deceit when we'd get people together for Deceit. I liked that the little tasks were pretty obvious, and it was a super simple game. Definitely something you'd want to play with actual people, with like your friends. Because like I think that's really what made it the most fun, especially with like the unmuting situation with Ren. Like I was in stitches the rest of the night, so yeah, it was a fun game. I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
especially for a $5. Like you can't beat that kind of entertainment.
Yeah. One real quick thing.
You can't even get that type of.
Go ahead. Finish what you're gonna say.
It was inappropriate.
Oh.
I think you knew where I was going with that.
I think I do now. So the one thing I was going to mention real quick, you mentioned the like task on the map, and I forgot to explain what the task were. They're just like a series of mini games that like drag your mouse up and down the screen like once.
Oh well, like trying to avoid not getting murdered while you're doing it.
Yeah, but like the task will take you like less than 30 seconds.
For the short ones.
For the
There
short
are some
ones.
that are supposed to be longer.
Yeah, there are longer tasks, but
And if you can complete those tasks before everybody dies, the survivors win.
yeah. So that's the goal of the survivors, is to get past, or to complete all their tasks and go. So when you die, you become a ghost, and the ghost can finish their tasks as well. So there's that as well.
That's where pubs become a problem too, because a lot of them will disconnect without completing tasks as ghosts, and so it's like either, all right, well, at that point it's just either get all the killers out or you're screwed.
Yeah,
which sucks.
Yeah. Rev, what's your experience been with the game so far?
I've come to be ashamed of myself because I have found out I am an excellent liar, especially to my friends, and I kind of hate myself for it. I have a ton of fun doing it, but there are times where I'll play and I'll be like, I don't like being this good at lying. I've always been a good liar, but I've tried to be honest. I swear, Ma. But yeah, no, it's a ton of fun though. I love it. Aside from getting stuck with some randos, especially if you're playing Survivor, and and you end up getting those people that won't complete tasks, and the killers aren't killing people because they can't get anybody alone, but you can't win because you're stuck. You can't finish your tasks because it does. If I could ask for one small change, it would be that if somebody bails, their tasks don't matter anymore. Like, get those tasks out of there, adjust the bar. But aside from that, it is a fun game. But I've always liked, what is it, Town of Salem, or the IRL game Mafia. So I'm a big fan. I like the style. I'm with it.
Yeah. One thing I can say in terms of like just like criticisms of the game, I suppose, would be the servers are pretty wonky. Like, it takes a bit to like we were having just like a good night making servers and getting into games or making lobbies, but apparently that's like fairly difficult on some nights, especially busy nights. So that kind of needs to be fixed. I think from what I understand, like the game kind of went under the radar for a while, and the devs just kind of like left it be, and then all of a sudden it just gets all this attention out of like nowhere. Like one random streamer like played it, and then
was it Dr. Lupo that said something about the game on his stream, and then that was, I think, the moment where it just kind of started blowing up, and people just started playing it like crazy. I want to say it was Dr. Lupo. He was talking about the game like in short, one of those like goofy little, it's like, in short, if you're stuck with randos, the game sucks or something like that. But it caught people's attention. People are like, wait, what game is he talking about? And so now it's like, if you go through, you'll see almost as many people on your follow list playing Among Us as they are Fall Guys anymore. It's insane.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Lupo. I absolutely adore him.
He seems like a good guy. I don't ever watch him, but he seems like a good guy.
I watched a video of Twitch giving him like $1 million for St. Jude's, and like he almost cried, or like he started crying, and I almost cried. Like, I'm like, God damn it, dude, Don't do this to me.
The feels are
It
real,
was my
man.
own feels.
How dare you?
How dare you make me feel my own feels?
All right, Kermit.
Yeah,
Easy
it's
being
gonna-
green. I didn't even realize that's even funnier wordplay.
Oh man.
Easy being green.
Yeah, so anything else on Among Us? Again, it's super cheap. If you want to try it on your phone first, try it on your phone.
Yeah, do that.
I can't think of anything else that really needs to be said about it. It's worth trying
No.
out.
Yeah, it was pretty fun with friends, for sure. With friends. I don't think I could do it with a solo for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe we'll get I mean, me and Green played with Ren, but maybe we need to get Rev in there and we can see how good Rev is at lying.
I'm pretty good at it.
One thing I do have to say, if it doesn't matter what type of or what imposter game it is, whether it be Deceit or Among Us or anything like that, Danny is always infected.
I will mute you.
Statistically, always.
I will mute you.
Fight me.
Poisoning the well like this? I thought you were a man of honor.
I am.
Ugh.
I only speak truths.
Only speak the truths, huh? Yeah,
Only
sure.
speak truths.
Always.
I did the math, Danny. You were like last time we played Deceit, 85% of the time you were it.
Okay, but that's not always, and I just want to point out real quick. Only Siths deal in absolutes.
But Yoda said, "Do or do not, there is no try," and that's an absolute.
Yoda
I
was a
brought
Sith.
peace and stability to my new empire.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about on Among Us? Otherwise, we're going to take a break.
No, we're good.
I'm good.
All right. Guys, we'll be back in about 2 minutes. Stay right there.
Dinosaur's tail.
You-
I love that.
right when I unmuted the audio, you said a dinosaur's tail. And
We'll leave it at that.
just leave it at that. All right, and we're back for the last half of the show here. Green,
Yeah.
get in your corner.
Okay. Time for Green's Tech Corner. This could be fantastic. NVIDIA dropped a huge video today. Like, huge video. Like, they full on released their lineup of the 3000 series, which is the new generation of graphics cards by NVIDIA. Nut. Do you have a nut button? You need a nut button.
I don't have a nut button.
You need a nut button because it was
Alright.
like if the cards actually produce what they're saying they're going to produce, it's like leaps and bounds over their 2000 series, even the supers.
Yeah. Real quick, would a daddy button work?
Hmm?
Would a daddy
A
button
daddy
work?
would work. Yeah, daddy would work.
Daddy.
There it is.
Perfect. Yeah, so one of the biggest news was Fortnite's getting ray tracing. So if you're into Fortnite and think that game needs more graphical detail than what it has, because that's like the most graphically intense game I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, why doesn't it already have ray tracing? Because like you need ray tracing on Fortnite. Like, it's not necessary, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too. I saw that announcement and I'm like, yay?
Yay!
Question mark?
Yeah, so they have something new called the NVIDIA Reflex, which is a new technology meant to help NVIDIA users to be more competitive. It's like a way to get more frames quicker. That's like the most layman way of saying it. More frames quicker, which is pretty interesting. I don't know really. Like, there's a lot of scientific stuff behind it, so definitely it will help people like who are achieving that 144 hertz area to 240 hertz if you have a monitor that supports that. NVIDIA G-Sync esports displays are coming new. They're going to be running 360 hertz apparently. I'm waiting to see the price tag on that. I don't think they released a price tag for that.
No,
but
I didn't.
Yeah, which is pretty good. Like 360 hertz for a monitor is insane. Like I have 144 hertz for my main monitor, and that's like the price tag on that was not very cheap. So imagining 360 hertz, like the 240 hertz right now are like upwards of $600. So that's going to be a hefty price tag. But if you're into esports, you got a sponsorship, then I don't think it would really matter what the price tag is, because I know like all of our listeners are esports champions. So
Everyone
they
of
also,
all are all champions. Everyone.
you're all champions to me, goddammit.
It's still real to me, damn it.
It's real to me. NVIDIA broadcast software is a new thing. Like, it's not necessarily new. Like, they've had the broadcast software, but they've been doing some improvements to it. There's some really cool things where like there was like a green screen feature without actually having a green screen, which just cuts out the background before you. And it actually looked really fantastic, as well as like a follow, like a face follow feature, where like you just have your stationary webcam and like it'll zoom into your face and then like follow you, which is pretty cool.
So for TikTok?
Well, you could, yeah. Yeah.
I just immediately started thinking down south hood baby,
Her baby. Yeah. Now you got it stuck in my head. So, but the biggest thing though is the new graphics cards, like the flagship 3080, the RTX 3080, massive improvement. Okay, twice the processing power of a 2080 Ti, not just a 2080, a 2080 Ti. They say that the MSRP for that is going to be $699. That is almost a third the price of a 2080 Ti right now for double the processing power. Okay, that's the flagship. That's the bread and butter. That's what they're going to be pushing the most. Okay, so like aftermarket third party like EVGA, PNY, MSI, they're all going to be bumping out their variants of that card within a month of that card releasing. So it's a massive improvement from the 2080 Ti. If you're more into the budget area, they are releasing the 3070. That one's going to be MSRPing around $499. That's going to be 8 gigs of G6, GDDR6 memory, which is like the equivalent to a 2080 right now. That is actually going to have the same processing power as a 2080 Ti. So for literally half the price of a 2080 Ti right now, you can get the 3070 when it releases in October for half the price. It's insane. Absolutely insane. I'm not going to go into like the specific teraflop thing. I would recommend watching the video for that because there's a lot of big words in there that I like. It just goes really fast. They did have a new system with the new architecture. There's actually essentially putting 2 separate processors in the CPU of the GPU. That is going to take the load instead of how the 2000 series did. So just that different architecture is like doubling the performance. And then it's also utilizing DDR4 for the PCI slots. So that's the biggest improvement. Since the PCI slots have upgraded to Gen 4, they get to utilize all that new technology, which is just blowing it out of the water. They are not releasing a 3060 from what that video showed. So those people who are looking for a super budget-friendly card, that is no longer a thing. Then the lowest budget card is the 3070 for around $500. So, but still, if you think about it, $500 for a card that is above the performance of last year's main big, like juicy, dummy, thick boy, it's 100% worth it in my mind. So if you're in the area to do upgrades once the 3070 drops and you want to, bump up to a good GPU, that would be the way to go. But the biggest thing that they unleashed is the 3090, which is the equivalent to this generation's TI. They're no longer using the TI designation. Big boy. Like, this card is literally the definition of dummy thick. You look in the dictionary and you see the picture next to dummy thick. It's this fucking card. It's a 3-slot card. It's fucking massive. It looks like its own mini computer.
Yeah, those like the like Tomahawk, like those little mini computers or like the slot things. What do they call those? Like the
nucks, like a nuck.
Yeah, a nuck. It looks like its own individual nuck.
It is fucking massive. Oh my goodness! It looks like it needs a support bracket for its support bracket. That's how thick that card is. So that one's going to MSRP $1,499, so $1,500 for this new card. It is stating that it will be able to do 8K at 30. I think it was supposed to be 60 frames, 8K with ray tracing on.
Yeah, that was probably one of my mistakes here in our notes. My apologies.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So 8K at 60 FPS with ray tracing. That is massive. That's like a light year jump from the 2080 Ti. The 2080 Ti, I believe it was 4K at 30. So, 24 gigs of GDDR6X is what they're calling it. It's like a new proprietary band of memory passage that they introduced with this card, where it essentially does like the memory path is like doubled. It's really hard to explain, but 24 gigs of that is absolutely insane. Like this thing it looks beefy because it is beefy. If you want to future-proof your PC for the next 8 years, that's the GPU to pick up. So, it's 8K at 60 FPS with ray tracing is huge. Like games aren't even doing that right now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's really hard to get an 8K monitor as it is. Right now, it's like super expensive just to get a 4K monitor. So getting this graphics card that supports 8K is going to set you up for like the next 10 years.
I mean, that is a graphics card that has the value of a car.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's
so did
more
the
valuable than my
2080
car.
Ti.
Yeah,
The 2080 Ti dropped at 1100, and this is like 3 times the processing power of a 2080 Ti. So, like, I think it's like in terms of the cards that they've released recently, with the 2000 series and the 3000 series, this one actually shows the amount of improvement that would warrant for me dropping $1,500 on.
gotcha. Yeah, because that's
last.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, you're right. That's like a huge. From what I saw and what I understood, is a huge improvement. Of course, all of this information, just as like a caveat, this is all first party information. This hasn't been independently verified by like PC Gamer or The Verge or Gamers Nexus or Linus Tech Tips.
The Verge.
I'm sorry. You're right.
We don't take the information of The Verge from here.
True. We should not.
Especially when it comes to PC parts, like PC building. So.
CNET. We haven't, CNET hasn't done the stuff on it.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see those reviews. Like if they are actually showing, because they had a few people, like a few streamers, 4 streamers. The only one that I recognized was Adam Sessler. He used to do the X Games on G4 channel, which actually I heard is coming back.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty excited about that. Like if there's any like television show I actually would watch again, it'd be G4 channel. That isn't showing cops nonstop 24/7. But he was playing with an 8K, like all 4 of them are playing 8K, different games. And they said that like during the video, they're like, "Oh, this is so smooth." So I mean, the only one that I knew was Adam Sessler, and like, if he was saying that it looked good and it looked smooth, like I can believe it. It just depends on if it's like they're cherry picking, because I mean it's the silicone lottery. Like, you could get a card that's top of the line, and like there could be something wrong with it that it doesn't perform 100% how they say it is. So I'm definitely excited to see when that actually releases, how it actually runs. I'm sure the reviewers will get their hands on it like relatively soon, within the next week or two, especially like Linus and Jay's 2 cents are probably already have their hands on one. So
Yeah.
I would look forward to seeing that on YouTube in the next week or two.
Yeah. I would like to see Gamers Nexus get their hands on it too.
Yeah. Steve Burke would tear that thing to bits and put it back together. So if you wanted to take a review about like a new component and see if it's up to par with what they're saying, check out PC Jesus Steve Burke. He's not afraid to tell it like it is. So
Did you see Gamer Nexus's video on they just buried MSI?
mm-hmm.
Oh man, it was so good.
Yeah, they are no longer like I'm pretty sure MSI says they're not working with them now or something like that, not sending them stuff anymore. That's how like hard he was. So, which
Yeah.
I still like. Most of my stuff is MSI.
Yeah, I mean it was an interesting video just because about they are in a position where they can burn those bridges and not have to worry about it because they can just buy the parts and review the parts, and have those. And they don't need MSI to send them stuff, which
Absolutely.
That's why I found it just so hilarious.
Yeah. And the 3080 actually is dropping on September 17th. So like, if you're looking to spend the same amount for a 2080 Super right now, you can get the 3080 and be twice the performance of a 2080 Ti. Now, I'm going to tell you this straight out the bat. Wait until some reviews come out and some actual testing comes out before you actually buy it. But if you're wanting one right off the rip, September 17th is the release date.
Yeah. Real quick, I just saw this, and this is from our good friend Renditions here in the Twitch chat. I'm genuinely curious how much the price drop of the 10 series is going to go. A 10 series card is still way more than enough for most people, so it could definitely be a good time to break into budget gaming soon. Budget PC gaming, he later clarifies. Which, yeah, I'm curious to see those drops. As someone who's actually currently building a PC, I would be genuinely interested to see how that goes and seeing where the other prices start to fall. And if I'm gonna maybe need to buy one of these cards.
The 10 series, I'm gonna go ahead and say that is gonna be starting to move into a niche item soon, and you're actually gonna see the price go up.
You know, that's fair enough.
They discontinued them during the 2080, the 20 series launch. They had that cushion where they were the cheapest that they'll get, and now that they're releasing a new series, you're going to be seeing those move out of that cushion and into a niche item, especially with it being a Gen 3 card. So like, next series, like the 4000 series or whatever they do, that's when you'll see the bubble of the 2000 series being like the cheapest they'll be. So like, if you're looking forward to more budget friendly cards, I would look into the 20 series over the 10, because you're going to get a newer generation for the cheapest you'll see it.
Awesome.
It's just like a older parts, like a DDR3 RAM is super expensive right now because they don't make it anymore. DDR4 is the standard, and 5 will be coming out within the next year. So they're a niche item now. It's more for hobbyists who are building older systems, like as a restoration thing.
Gotcha. Anything you want to add to this conversation, Ren? Or Rev? Sorry.
Oof.
No, I mean, I'm blown away though at the price of the 3070. Like that, that's just absolutely mind-boggling. Yeah, I've been sitting here in the actual Twitch chat going back and forth about how just absolutely ridiculous that is. Because I'm sitting on a 1070 right now, which is still more than enough for what I need it for. But that price for that level of upgrade, that's almost too good to pass up. So I mean, that's where I stand with it.
I'm super excited to see like the actual bench testing for it, because for their flagship budget card of like the lowest they'll go, the lowest one that they can get, and you're getting the same performance as their highest tier card last series. Like, that's huge.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's more than I would ever need, but come on.
The sustainability though, that's the biggest thing.
But I will wait for reviews, because I heard, like, I do remember when the 2080 Ti came out, a lot of people, when it first came out, there was like the heating issue. Like it was like a radiator.
The biggest thing I think that they've learned from the 20 series launch is the price to performance ratio with the 20 series was astronomically huge, like in a very bad way. Like, people did not, like, when the 20 series first launched, people did not want to buy it because they still had the 10 series, like the 1080 Ti's were still fantastic cards. They're still fantastic cards to today for current gen systems. But for like future gaming, the 20 series wasn't worth it to them. Like, because they were like, especially like the flagship, like the flagship 2080 was at the highest it's ever been at like $800. And then to release the 2080 Ti option, which normally a Ti option is like maybe $100 more back in the 10 series, but they dropped that fucker for almost $1,200.
Yeah. I remember that being an issue. I had a friend that his whole deal was like he was seeing there were issues on launch with like cooling on it. Like, it wasn't cooling at the rate that it should have. So people were seeing overheats. I don't know the legitimacy behind that, but that was the first thing I had heard when they first dropped. But I mean, again, what is it to wait a little bit for a review,
I never really go for founders cards anyways.
Yeah.
Just because I never really liked the look of them. And then like usually like the aftermarket ones like MSI or EVGA always looked better and had better cooling capabilities. However, they did release a new cooling proprietary system with the new Founders card that has two separate types of cooling. The PCB board is actually smaller than what the case is. Whereas like the 20 series and the 10 series, the PCB board is like the full length. It's actually shorter now, and it's like a separate fan with heat piping running like the air from the intake of your your case, like your ambient air from your case, running it through that heat piping. And then there's a separate fan below that is pulling the air in and then out the back of your slots. So it's like two separate heat systems working. So that is actually a huge improvement too. They're saying it's 3 times quieter and 20 degrees cooler than the 2080 Ti card when it first launched. So that's we'll see that too.
Incredible.
They put a lot of thought into the 3000 series. I'm actually pretty excited to see the benchmarks. Like, I'm giddy. I'm moist.
Ooh.
I'm moist.
You guys should have seen our Discord chat when he watched the video.
Yeah. Like, I told McKenna today, I'm like, I should have waited because I bought the 2080 Super with water cooling, the Gigabit Aorus Water Force card, which is a fantastic card. Like, it's a nice card.
Yeah.
But like, I could have spent the same amount on the 3080 and had over twice the performance for it.
Yeah.
So I'm still thinking I might buy one, like after the benchmarks, like get the 3080, put it in my game PC, upgrade my motherboard, and then actually slap the 2080 in my stream PC. It's like super overkill for a stream PC. So we'll see. We'll see.
Awesome. Was there anything else on this topic that we wanted to get down into?
I'm gonna be super broke by 2022. Poor.
So are we good to go on to our next topic here?
Absolutely. I think that's it.
Cool. Let's go on to deals of the month. So I'm going to first start out with Humble Bundle. So Humble Bundle has their end of summer sale going on right now. If you guys want to help support the show, I'm going to provide a link in the chat and in the episode description. That is our affiliate link. If you guys use that link when you go to make your purchase, you will help support the show. We do get a portion of the purchase. So just so you know, full disclosure. But yeah, they have their end of summer sale going on right now. Some games I suggest you guys check out. Metro Redux bundle for $7.50 USD. And Grim Dawn is $5 USD on the sale. Some games I suggest you check out, especially Grim Dawn, especially if you like ARPGs like Diablo. Epic Games, there are a couple free games until September 3rd, so you have 2 days left to pick this up. Hitman. And then you can also pick up Shadowrun, the Shadowrun collection until September 3rd. Starting on September 3rd and ending on September 10th, you can get Into the Breach. So again, for Epic Games, until the 3rd, you can get Hitman and Shadowrun, the Shadowrun collection, and then starting on the 3rd, ending on the 10th, you can get Into the Breach. For Amazon Prime Gaming, it's no longer Twitch Prime. It is now Amazon Prime Gaming. You can pick up a bunch of free games. I also want to remind everyone that you also get a free sub every month. And since this is September, there is Subtember, which you get a reduced price on your subs. So go support my wonderful co-host and whoever else has appeared on the show with your subs and using those free subs on those guys. Let's see. Okay, so the games. Starting on August 13th through September 11th, The Inner World. It's a 2D point-and-click adventure by Studio Fizbin. Pumped BMX Pro, September 1st through October 1st. It's a standard BMX game. I looked at it. It's like just 3D, scroll or, use your WASD pad to do tricks and shit. Effie, starting today, September 1st through October 1st. It's a 3D action adventure game by Inverge Studios and Clay Bader. That sounds dirty. Truberbrook starts on September 4th. It's an adventure game by Head Up Games and BTF. Impulsion, September 25th. It's a fast-paced platformer by Driving Force Games. Outcast Second Contact until October 1st. It's an action-adventure game by Appeal. Tempest, it's a pirate game. I couldn't find the developer right away. I'm sorry. September 18th. Tiny Troopers until October 1st. It's a top-down squad shooter, it looks like, by Kukuri Mobile Entertainment. And then the last one for Twitch Prime that I saw until October 1st is Autonauts. And that is a explore, craft, and automate. The goal of the game is to try to automate as much as possible, from chopping down trees to crafting tools, as well as housing and feeding colonists to make them happy. And that's by Denki and Curve Digital. So that's all the games that you can pick up on Amazon Prime Gaming this month. Let's go to Xbox One. What's coming up on Xbox One for the month?
So the Xbox One games with gold this month are another treasure trove of amazing titles that you probably not heard of, including The Book of Unwritten Tales 2, one that was so good they had to make a sequel. You also get De Blob 2 for the 360 to play on your Xbox One. And then there's a game from way back in the day on the regular Xbox called Armed and Dangerous. But if you're tired of hearing about sequels, you can always pick up the first Tom Clancy's The Division. Those are your free games with gold. Now, all jokes aside, Game Pass is actually doing not too bad this month. So there's a game that came out technically on August 27th. The first chapter released. It's called Tell Me Why. It's by Don't Not Entertainment, the makers of Life is Strange. But since it's not being published by Square Enix, and it's actually being published by Xbox Game Studios, you can pick this up not only on your Xbox One, but if you have Game Pass on your PC as well. Chapter 2 will be releasing this Thursday, Chapter 3 the following Thursday. So those are actually pretty good pickups, especially if you like the Life is Strange series, because this is, in my opinion, just like a Life is Strange 3. Another one that's coming actually in 2 days, on the 3rd, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. It's a one that got a lot of people back into playing the RE games. They're not. It's not like 5 and 6 where there were more action games. This one is kind of actually terrifying. On top of that, on the 3rd, you're also going to get the Jackbox Party Pack 4, which they have a couple of the other Jackbox Party Packs on there as well. And then one that actually kind of caught my attention, because this is the first time I think I've ever seen an expansion included for a game on Game Pass. But Destiny 2's expansions, Forsaken and Shadowkeep, will also be dropping on Game Pass this month. Keep in mind, Game Pass bundles in with your Xbox Live Gold. So I think it's $14.99 for both services together. Xbox Game Pass is a treasure trove of amazing titles, not just indie titles like After Party and A Plague and Innocence Tales, stuff like that. But you also are starting to see some better titles come to it, like your Destiny 2 expansions and your exclusives like Tell Me Why. The only thing is, it is kind of like Netflix, where you will see games leave. So one big one that they've had on there for a while now that's leaving is on the 7th. They're actually going to see Red Dead Redemption 2 leave. So if you do have Game Pass and you like Red Dead Redemption 2, it is going to be leaving, but before it goes, they typically provide you like a sale to be able to purchase the game. So just to keep an eye out on that. But that's pretty much everything going on Xbox this time around.
Excellent. PlayStation, Green.
Yeah.
What do they got?
I'm sorry. I've been every time he says "Tell Me Why," I've been Backstreet Boying it out in my head. So PlayStation
references when I played the first chapter, just so you know, 21 different people.
I love it so much. It just hurts my heart. All right, so the two new PlayStation Plus games for the month of September are PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, so PUBG, and Street Fighter V. So those are Street Fighter V is relatively new. I think that's like one previous to the newest one, I think, or maybe the newest one. I don't know.
I think it's the newest one. Let me double check. Street Fighter.
But PUBG's been out for a while, but it just finally got ported to PlayStation like this year or late 2019. So that's a pretty good pickup. I mean, I spent $30 on PUBG on PC, so if you can get it for free on PlayStation, why not? It's a pretty fun game.
Street Fighter V was released in 2016, so yeah, I think that is the
second to newest one.
Is there a Street Fighter 6?
I think so.
I don't think there's a Street Fighter 6. Let me double check.
They did a Street Fighter Cross Tekken is the one they did, where they had like the crossover game. That one came out after 5, I believe. But they did port over, I think, Akuma over to Tekken, but they've been doing like a lot of updates and keeping it going on Street Fighter 5. They've been adding like some of the older characters that haven't made the cut yet to it, and it's still pretty relevant.
Yeah. Street Fighter 6 has been delayed
due to poor reception.
Yeah. So
okay.
Move out of the boondocks, get near cell towers.
Oh no, not a delay on Street Fighter. Like, Mortal Kombat isn't owning the fighting genre right now.
Or Smash.
Or Smash, yeah. I don't really count Smash because that's like Nintendo, like that's its own thing. Like Smash, I always put as its own category because it's Smash.
Yeah, but I mean it's at Evo, so
I know, but like it's Nintendo. it's fun, but it's for kids.
Oh, damn.
Fight me. I actually really enjoy Smash. I just suck at it. So that's where my frustrations are coming out from.
Yeah, I
suck at Mortal Kombat too, so
I don't do well at fighting games at all.
No. Especially 2D platform fighting games, just god awful.
Yeah. Cool. Any other deals of the month that we wanted to share, mention, talk about?
No. You have a deal to my heart.
Aw. Aw. It's gonna make me melt. Again, Humble Bundle sale. If you guys are interested, I'm gonna put the link again in Twitch. If you guys are looking to buy anything on the Humble Bundle sale, please consider using our link. We get a portion of that purchase. That is our affiliate link right there. Again, the link will be in the episode description if you guys are watching or listening on another platform. I can't think of anything else that we really want to talk about. Do you guys want to wrap up the show?
Wrap it and tap it, boys.
Wrap it and tap it.
Quit it.
All right, Mr. Green Elite, what's coming up on your channel?
I'm gonna be playing definitely some more Call of Duty, definitely some Apex, and I'm actually gonna be playing Destiny 2 this week. I'm making my triumphant return. Yeah, I haven't played Destiny. I've been off the wagon, or well, I guess on the wagon for 3 weeks now, and I've decided to jump back on it probably tomorrow, and then I think I'm getting on PlayStation.
Wow.
Yeah, like don't know how to feel about that because I've been PC for like essentially late 2019. Like I have not booted up my Pro in like 5 months at least, 6 months.
UPC, bro?
Yeah, PC, bro.
PC,
Check your privilege, bro.
Check your privilege.
You better check your privilege, bro. But yeah, so that's We'll see. Hopefully I just don't I'm trying to dip my toes back into Destiny because I don't want to burn myself out too fast because that seems like every season has been like that. Like I'll burn myself out within the first 2 days of playing it. So hopefully it goes well. I love that game. I love it. I hate it and I love it. And I hate it. So
Padre, what's coming up on your channel?
Oh God. So we'll give one more opportunity for this. I got Tell Me Why, episode 2, coming Thursday. where we're gonna start that at 7 p.m. on Central on Thursday. And then Saturday, due to the community's ever so valiant efforts to make this happen, we're going to be doing a Zebo's Funhouse where I dress up as my little clown friend. But we're going to do a cooking stream. We're going to make carnival foods like corn dogs and funnel cakes and sodomies or whatever they're called. And we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. And after that, we're gonna see. I think maybe next week I'm gonna start doing horror games again. Haven't done one of those in a while. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, at RevSven everywhere. Just RevSven or RevSven TV. You'll find me. Trust me.
Oh yeah. I don't think I mentioned that either.
Green, where are your socials?
Twitch.tv/Mr. Green Elite. Twitter at Mr. Green Elite. Instagram at TTV, Mr. Elite. You know?
You sound really sad. I'm gonna move on.
I know. What's coming up on Danny K's channel?
Let's see. This week I'm gonna probably play a little bit of Apex. I don't know what else I want to really play this week. I don't know. I might also touch Iron Sight. So I touched a little bit of Iron Sight. So there was this whole weird thing. We'll explain it on next week's episode about their Western publisher basically gave up, but then their Eastern publisher just took it over here for North America. So there's this whole other launcher situation that we have to go through, or not launcher, but just this whole other situation we have to go to. And then there's a bunch of added stuff now to Iron Sight, including a battle royale mode that I'm going to have to try to convince Greenlight to join me on because it actually is kind of interesting. It's a bit different than what you'd think a battle royale would be.
Trailer only. I need to see the trailer first because I'm not going to be hoodwinked into these horror games again.
Oh no, it's Iron Sight, dude.
Iron Sight. Okay, that's right. I'm sorry. It rolled in my brain.
Yeah, no, it's Iron Sight. It's
it's having flashbacks when you bamboozled me about playing a fucking horror game, which I hope never makes it to fucking beta.
Oh yeah, that was Outlast 3, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think that's the name of it. And they're like, "Oh, let's play this game." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like a FPS game, survival game." Oh no. So are you sure? I got you. Like, you son of a bitch.
Ha, got you, bitch.
Gotcha,
So yeah,
bitch.
Iron Sight. I'll probably try some Iron Sight out and show off the Battle Royale mode this week as well. And then Fallout New Vegas. I'm gonna actually try to make a concerted effort here. I'm gonna try to like beat Fallout New Vegas so we can move on to a different single player game, because we've been playing that game since May. No, I think it's been since May. We've been playing Fallout New Vegas. So I'm gonna make a concerted effort. I'm gonna start beating some of these DLCs, and then I'm gonna just kind of finish up the main campaign. Other than that, find me on Twitter, on Instagram at DannyK, DANIECAE, and you guys can also subscribe to me on YouTube. That's also where the podcast is posted on YouTube, Danny K Media. Anything else that we wanted to talk about before we end the show?
That glorious mustache.
It's getting there. I need to get some wax. But guys, that's gonna do it for this week's show. We appreciate you guys for joining us and for hanging out with us. If you guys miss any part of the show, you guys can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are found. Make sure that if you guys want to help support the show, the best way you can do that is by telling your friends, leaving a like on the video, commenting, and also making sure that you subscribe on the platforms. It really helps us out. Make sure you guys answer the question of the week in the comments of YouTube, or you guys can reach out to us on Twitter. You guys can just tweet at any of us answering this question. Before digital downloaded games, what was the longest you waited in a game for a new release, and what game was it? Answer that question in the YouTube comments. Other than that, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, keep fighting the good fight, and we'll talk to you guys again next week. Bye!
Love you.